Teebs and KidPhoenix podcast is now partnered with Dubby Energy. Dubby is an energy drink powder that is different from the energy providers of the past, using all natural energy from ripe coffee cherries to provide natural energy with no sugar, no calories, no artificial coloring, and no maltodextrin. Each serving of Dubby contains about 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, but since Dubby's formula is sugar-free, you get energy and focus without those anxious, jittery, or wired feelings. Just mix 1 rounded scoop with 8 ounces of water and you're good to go. Unlike energy in a can, you have the ability to control how much goes in. Want to take it a little easier? Drop in a little less powder. You're in control. Listeners to our podcast can receive 10% off their order by using promo code Teebs at checkout. Try any one of Dubby's 15 unique flavors, including cherry blossom or Japanese soda today, and experience the difference.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on. Straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right.
Greetings, welcome in. What's up, y'all? It's the Teebs and KidPhoenix podcast. KidPhoenix here. Teebs is not recording from home. He's recording from an undisclosed location in Southern California. That's all we'll say.
I'm at the special Teebs and KidPhoenix bunker.
Yeah, he's in the bunker. Teebs has finally decided that with everything going on in Minnesota, shout out to Minnesota, it's time to utilize the bunker. We have one on either coast. We have one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. I have not retreated to the East Coast bunker just yet, but...
Yeah, because nobody can get around the streets.
Well, yeah, there is also a 9.5 or so inches of snow. So I have to ask, you miss it, don't you?
Why don't you ask me what the weather is here?
Okay, no, I won't do that. I won't. Actually, I will do that for the purposes of comedy. How is the weather as I'm sitting here defrosting and trying to wipe the icicles off of my nose?
Nice.
Okay, all right. It is the Teebs and KidPhoenix, so it feels like summer out there, but it always feels like summer out there. It's winter out here for sure. Those are two of our... They're seasons. I don't know if they're our favorite seasons, but they are seasons. One of our other favorite seasons is award season. We've already had the Golden Globes. We've had the Grammys, one of which Teebs doesn't really care about. I mean, I don't really care about the Grammys either, but, you know. Such is life that music changes, and we just decided not to adapt to the changes of music. That being said, Teebs, I had this idea. As we begin our Oscar push of podcasts.
You're going to have to explain this idea to me because I'm not sure that I get it.
Okay, actors. Obviously,
I'm familiar with the idea of actors, yes.
They take all kinds of jobs. Sometimes it's for a paycheck. Sometimes it's to get a statuette. But there is this duality of actors who take roles in different genres or different types of film. So that's kind of the plan here today. This is the idea that I had, right? I have chosen, and we have emailed each other a list of 3 names each. Teebs has 3 names primarily from my zeitgeist, which is the action, science fiction genres, light comedy a little bit too. And then Teebs, as he is the film bro of this podcast, he has given me names of more film bro-y names that I need to equate to some of, or my favorite of my genre featuring Teebs' names and vice versa.
All right, why don't you just start and then
Okay. All right. So Teebs gave me a list of 3 names, and one is kind of a softball, but then the other 2 a little bit more difficult. So I'll go with the softball first, just so I can kind of quarterback this situation here. So first name up, Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the first name Teebs gave me. Leonardo DiCaprio featured in a lot of film bro-y movies like The Departed or The Revenant or Shutter Island, movies like that maybe I don't have on a rotating basis, but I cannot discredit what Leonardo DiCaprio means to the actor studio, as it were. So the obvious choice for me, as far as a movie that Leo DiCaprio is in, but is more in my zeitgeist of action science fiction, I almost cheated because my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie is Catch Me If You Can. That is my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Hot take, I think is Leonardo DiCaprio's best performance in a movie that I've ever seen. That is my preference. That is my take. This answer is pretty easy for me just because it is a movie that you also enjoy thusly. I'm pretty sure we watch it every summer when I'm out in California. And that movie's The Quick and the Dead. Leonardo DiCaprio plays the kid alongside Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, Gene Hackman, Keith David. In this movie, directed by Sam Raimi, it is over-the-top Sam Raimi direction in a Western theme, gunfighting, crazy dialogue. We have a whole storyline of Sharon Stone trying to be this wildcat female gunslinger coming into town and enact revenge on the Gene Hackman character. But then you have Leonardo DiCaprio, who plays the kid, who is, I want to say he's the Gene Hackman character's like illegitimate son or like forgotten son or bastard son, something like that. Well, he's not a bastard
Bastard's
son,
probably
obviously.
accurate.
Is it really?
Bastards, yeah, probably. An unclaimed son.
But Leo in this movie, I always enjoyed the Leo DiCaprio, Gene Hackman relationship, the father to the illegitimate son, so to speak. Gene Hackman calls him a farmer. He says he doesn't have gunslinger's hands, he's got farmer's hands. So there's that interesting back and forth between those two characters. And Leo was, I don't think he was 21 years old, 22. This was after Basketball
I'm pretty
Diaries.
sure he was still a teenager. Yeah.
This is after Basketball Diaries. So after Basketball Diaries,
Might have been before.
But either way, this is one of those movies where Leo, I don't want to say he was just collecting a check, although I'm sure the check was substantial. And he's probably still getting residuals since, they're those great Pluto residuals. But yeah, I couldn't really find another real action movie to apply Leonardo DiCaprio to, except maybe The Aviator, but even that's kind of film bro-y.
And not that good. I mean, it's okay, but it's not one of my favorites. Okay, so we have to find a movie from an actor that you have specified that will fit into my
film bro-y
taste. Okay, fine.
Okay, I gave you a softball.
Okay. These are all kind of softballs.
I mean, for you, because you take in a lot more movies than I do. Again, film bro.
So the first name I have on your list is Ice Cube.
You're starting with Ice Cube. I thought you'd start with somebody else, but okay. Ice Cube, in my zeitgeist, Ice Cube is famous for movies like Friday, All About the Benjamins, the Are We There Yet series. Teebs, if you say Anaconda, I swear to God.
There's only one answer here, and it's Boys in the Hood. I mean, it's not even really close.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close.
If you've not seen Boys in the Hood, I mean, this is Ice Cube's first movie, and Ice Cube is going on to become, something of a staple in the African American community. So,
also, if you've never seen Boys in the Hood, it is February. It is Black History Month. It is the perfect time to pull up Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, basically Boys in the Hood, story about boys in the hood, what they go through, kind of their trials and tribulations.
I have two questions about Ice Cube. So when it comes to Ice Cube, yeah, very well played. When it comes to Ice Cube, his transition from NWA to Friday to him making movies and being successful in movies that I mentioned, along with like the Barbershop series, like, is that the best rapper turned actor story in Hollywood?
Ice-T is up there.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how highly you rate 20 odd years of Law and Order SVU.
Hey, for an actor, 20 years of checks is an enormously successful career.
Also, the irony that Ice-T, a rapper that famously put out a record called Cop Killer, has now been a cop on a television show for 20 plus years. That is not lost on anybody.
Also, I don't know, but I think Ice Cube and Ice-T might need to change their names. They might need to go with their government name. I'm going to call them O'Shea and
Teebs. If you ever see Ice Cube on the street and you refer to him as O'Shea Jackson, I am not going to be able to back you up for whatever he does to you.
I'm just saying, maybe being identified as Ice right now, not the way to go.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like in terms of rapper turned actor, I think the only other obvious choice is probably Will Smith.
Not only Will Smith was ever like a rapper, he was like an entertainer, and rapping was just part of it. But like,
that's a good distinction. But back to Boys in the Hood, what was in your eyes? Because, like, again, this is your take. What did you appreciate most in the Doughboy character as it relates to like living in South Central LA in the 90s?
I mean, listen, there's the kid that comes from the good household, or not the good household, but there's the kid that comes from a stable household, and there's the kid that comes from a not so stable household, and, you know, showing that dichotomy and how, like, it really wasn't anything that Doughboy did, and Doughboy did have a sense of, like, morals and, like, a code of ethics or whatever. And that understanding he wasn't just thugging for thug's sake.
Right. He wasn't thugging for thug's sake. Like, he took care of his friends, and he also did what he could to get Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character kind of like out of the hood, or at least be able to navigate through it. Because if I remember correctly, the Cuba Gooding character, he wasn't from South Central, but I think he came back from, like, I don't want to say a rich suburb, but like not South Central.
Right.
And that's pretty relatable, honestly. All right, so the next name Teebs gave me, and I'll just do this because it is Black History Month. Teebs gave me Mahershala Ali, the Hirsch, star of film bro movies such as Moonlight and what's that other movie where he's like the musician and he's in the car like half the time? Green Book. I wanted to say Green Mile, but I knew that was wrong. So Green Book. So I could have taken the easy route and said the new Jurassic World movie, the rebirth that he was in with Scarlett Johansson. But you know what? I did some extra homework and I did some extra research here because I wanted to provide the people with sort of a low key deep cut. Teebs, you know how much of a fan I am of the Predator series. I enjoy the entire series. I've enjoyed Dan Trachtenberg's work with Prey and Killer of Killers and Badlands. Before Dan Trachtenberg, though, there was a movie that came out in 2010 starring Adrian Brody, and Mahershala Ali was in that. It was the Robert Rodriguez produced Predators movie. Mahershala Ali plays a it's like a death squad soldier from, he says, Sierra Leone is what it says. And Mahershala doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue, so to speak, but he is one of those actors who has such a presence on screen. He's not taking scenes away from Adrian Brody. He's not beating Adrian Brody in any of the scenes that they're both in. Adrian Brody plays Royce, who's kind of the main protagonist, along with Topher Grace for some odd reason. Walton Goggins, Danny Trejo is in this movie. The Fish is in this movie, Lawrence Fishburne. But the scenes that Mahershala Ali is in prior to his death scene, I want to say about 30 to 45 minutes into it. He's out there. He's doing work. He's doing comedy bits with the Walton Goggins character. If you haven't seen Predators, I would urge everybody to check it out, because it is one of the more underrated in the Predator series. And I feel like it's gotten forgotten a little bit after the success of Dan Trachtenberg, but I really think that's one that people should give it a spin. Give it a spin on Disney Plus. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
All right. So my next name is Michelle Rodriguez.
This is okay. I just want to preface. This is probably the hardest name I gave Teebs. This is 100% the hardest one. I know that for a fact, because Michelle Rodriguez has only been in 2 franchises that I know and love very, very dearly. And that is the Resident Evil franchise, and that is the Fast and the Furious franchise. Outside of that, I couldn't name one goddamn thing that Michelle Rodriguez is in. So I am excited to hear what you found.
I mean, you must think that I'm some kind of rookie or some kind of chump at this game.
I mean, sort of.
What do you think? You're going to give me Michelle Rodriguez and I'm going to shit my pants and not be able to come up with an answer?
That was the idea.
No, the movie is Girl Fight. Okay, that's what it is.
Shit, I forgot she was in that. Okay, Girl Fight. What was that? That was 2000. Right? Was this Michelle Rodriguez's first film?
Was Michelle Rodriguez's first films?
Damn it!
The movie is called Girl Fight.
I thought I would get you with this.
It's about a girl. She fights.
Oh my God. Okay, why do you like Girl Fight? Actually, let me ask you this. When's the last time you gave Girl Fight a spin?
Been a while, honestly. But yeah, basically it's a really raw portrayal of this girl growing up in Brooklyn, trying to make something out of her life, and she becomes a boxer. It's like Rocky, except it's a girl and she gets to win. That's it.
Oh, see, that's important. That's very important. It's a very important distinction. So now that you bring that movie up, I have to ask, between Girl Fight and $1 Million Baby, for example.
Don't even. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm just saying they're both.
It's not even close. Just stop.
I'm not saying they're close.
Stop it.
I'm just saying Girl Fight came out in 2000, and then $1 Million Baby hits 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering. I don't know how successful Girl Fight was. I almost want to say there's this, I don't want to call it a renaissance, but an awakening, so to speak, of female leads in those kinds of roles, dramatic fighters. You say it's more it's basically Rocky with a girl, but she wins. Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe that was the thought process. Just hey, let's repackage Rocky a little bit.
That probably wasn't the process. There was a screenplay, and I think they found Michelle Rodriguez. She hadn't really been in anything before, although I'm trying to think. She's in The Breed, and I think that's after Girl Fight. I'll have to check on that. But that is a movie about super intelligent dogs that take over this island and start killing people. You should check that one out too if you have the chance. It's a great movie. But
The Breed is 2006.
Okay, then no. But So yeah, Girl Fight was her first movie.
The Breed came 2 years after one of my favorite Michelle Rodriguez movies. That's not Fast and Furious or Resident Evil, and that movie is SWAT. Don't ask me why. I'm such a shill for the SWAT movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
What you for liking that movie?
Dude. Why give SWAT a spin? At some point, it's. I don't want to say it's revolutionary, but so Michelle Rodriguez, this was her first movie, and she went on to win the Independent Spirit Award and the Gotham Award for Best Debut Performance. But then she goes right into the Fast and Furious franchise in 2001. Without even, that was her very next movie, and that was it. when you see something like that happen, like the quickness to jump onto a franchise, let's put you in that situation. Like Teebs, like you're coming off this like independent film acting award, but then you jump to like a franchise, like a Marvel franchise or DC franchise, or something like that. I'm not saying this is what Michelle's mindset was, but like what's your mindset going that rapid a switch?
You're acting like she has choice. Like, I'm sure there weren't a ton of freaking roles being, I mean, nobody, I'm sure, like, it's not like people were like trying to make her a leading lady or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, Hollywood didn't really know what to do with her besides, you know, here, be a tough chick, because every freaking single thing she's in after this, she's just the tough chick. So
yeah, Girl Fight, Fast and the Furious, Resident Evil, Blue Crush, even SWAT, Blood Rain she's in. Wow, that's a very interesting point. And like even now I don't know if she'll be able to get away from Avatar, I guess. It's like she's known for Avatar, Fast and the Furious, and like that's it. Speaking of which, we do have a date for the very last Fast and the Furious movie, which I will be in line for. Yes, we do. One last name for me. And Teebs, I feel like this is the one you thought you were going to break me on, but again, I'm no rookie either. The last name that Teebs gave me is probably one of my favorite actors across all genres. He has been in films such as Punch Drunk Love, or, I mean, he's been in 6 different Paul Thomas Anderson films. He was in, I think it was the Truman Capote movie, right? That man is Philip Seymour Hoffman. Rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, P.S. Hoffman. Star of screen and stage. Tons of awards, tons of nominations. He is an Oscar winner for Capote. He was nominated 3 times for Best Supporting Actor. He's gotten 5 Golden Globes, 5 BAFTA awards. He's won the Volpe Cup at the Venice Film Festival. Like, his accolades as an established film actor are, it's unassailable. It's almost unassailable. But there is crossover between Philip Seymour Hoffman and my particular zeitgeist of movies. In 2006, he starred alongside Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames and Billy Crudup, directed by J.J. Abrams. No. That's right.
Right, that's right. I forgot he was in
Mission Impossible 3.
Mission Impossible.
I'm going on record right now. On the list of Mission Impossible movies, MI3 is probably my number 1. It is 1,000% my number 1. After the abomination, let me cook for a second. After the abomination that was Mission Impossible 2.
Wait a second. This has nothing to do with you liking Mission Impossible. Why do you like series that are like 10 movies deep? Why is it like why are you like, oh, does this movie have 9 sequels? I'm not even going to bother. It's not even worth my time. Just leave me alone with that.
Okay, let me explain that with this answer. We're recording this on February 3rd. The Super Bowl is this Sunday. And there have been, as of this recording and soon to be on Sunday, there have been 60 of them. And I don't care if my team is in it. I don't care if your team is in it. I'm watching the Super Bowl.
Are you watching the Super Bowl? Are you going to watch the Super Bowl this Sunday?
Yes. I'm watching the Super Bowl at our mutual friend Greg's house.
You are a simple creature.
There will be city-branded food being served. I myself am making Seattle dogs.
How is a Seattle dog?
I had to look this up, and I'm getting way off track, so thanks for that. A Seattle dog is a all beef frank split down the middle in a toasted bun, and the toppings are grilled onions and cream cheese. That's it.
Okay. First of
all, it's known as a bagel dog in Seattle.
That's the grossest thing I've ever heard of. Sorry, people of Seattle, but I don't know what to tell you. This is not okay. Listen.
I'm sure that the people of Seattle find the cheesesteak absolutely disgusting.
Maybe they do, but I'm not apt to take the opinion of someone who puts sauerkraut on a hot dog. That's crazy work.
No, I didn't say sauerkraut. I said grilled onions and cream cheese.
Yeah, sauerkraut would actually make sense. Cream cheese on a hot dog is crazy work. Also, listen to this. You're working too hard. Just take them like a bag of Pike's Place roast. Call it a day.
The thing is, the Super Bowl is at 6:30 at night, and I don't know how many people are going to be drinking coffee that late.
They might need the coffee to sit up through that entire game. It's not going to be fun. I don't think it'll be fun.
The Super Bowl has not been made a national holiday yet. I'm working on that. I don't know if I have enough signatures on the petition, but anyway. Back to Philip Seymour Hoffman and Mission Impossible 3. After the atrocity that was John Woo's Mission Impossible 2, I didn't think they would make another one. I thought they would be done. I didn't think they would come back to it. I thought that franchise was going to be over. And then J.J. Abrams comes on the scene. And this movie is written by Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci along with J.J. Abrams. Directed by J.J. Abrams. This movie is a revitalization of that franchise, and it just goes to show how popular and how good it was under the J.J. Abrams umbrella with the Christopher McQuarrie directing in later Mission Impossible movies. Did I go see both Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning for opening weekend? Yes, I did. But I always come back to Mission Impossible 3 because the portrayal of Owen Davian, the main antagonist in the movie, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, absolutely terrifying. Absolutely let you believe everything that he says, everything that he does. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I knew it was a movie, I would have been shitting my pants like the whole time. I was like, wait, is this happening on the news right now? And maybe that's credit to both the writing, Philip Seymour Hoffman's acting, as well as J.J. Abrams' directing. Teebs, seriously, I don't know what the last time you saw it was, but I recommend you give that movie a legitimate run, because between Tom Cruise and Philip Seymour Hoffman, that movie is just a powerhouse of screen work.
Yeah, hard pass for me. But
we're watching that. We're watching that when I come out for Con this summer. That is happening. I'm putting it on, and I'm forcing you to stay awake during it.
All right. So the last name you gave me is Keanu Reeves. Like,
this was my softball.
Okay. It is okay. So I could go the obvious route and go like my own private Idaho.
Let's establish this. Keanu Reeves in my zeitgeist. I mean, listen, it's The Matrix. That's Keanu in my zeitgeist. That's it. The Matrix, Speed. I'm sorry, my bad. The Matrix, Speed, Bill and Ted, the Bill and Ted series, like that's where Keanu Reeves lives for me.
So I could go my own private Idaho.
My own private Idaho.
Why are you laughing?
Are you gonna do the John with him and Al Pacino? Or are you gonna do that one?
No, Devil's Advocate is fun, but I wouldn't call it a film bro movie. And here's the thing. Is this are we talking about the quote unquote film bro movies, or are we talking about movies that are personally that mean something to me? What are we talking about?
It could be both if there's a sliver in those concentric circles.
Okay then. My choice is going to be Bram Stoker's Dracula.
FFC.
Keanu Reeves. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Is it Keanu or is it Keanu?
I'm going to switch it every time. How about that?
Okay, all right.
Keanu Reeves, not great, but not bad either. Like, the accent is...
not great. It's not the best.
You know what? The accent's bad. The accent is still better than Kevin Costner's in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So, there's that.
That is a gross violation of the skills of one Kevin Costner. That is unfair.
Listen, Kevin Costner has skills. Playing Robin Hood, or anybody British for that matter, is not one of them. Wow. Doing any accent of any kind is just like not in the man's wheelhouse. I don't know what to tell you.
Bram Stoker's Dracula came out in 92. Let me see. Let me check something real quick. Okay. I swear to God, this is not an age crack. I swear to God, it's not. But 17-year-old Teebs in 1992 was 17-year-old Teebs in line opening weekend for Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I might have been in line opening weekend, but I do remember seeing this in the theater. So
down at the Sam Eric.
I don't know if I was at the Sam Eric, but I think I probably did see it somewhere.
It is now 2026. And
it is 2026.
There have been a host of Dracula vampire movies, whatnot, what have you. Almost 35 years later, is Bram Stoker's Dracula the number one Dracula / vampire film in your estimation?
I think that the question is kind of like asking, what's the best Batman movie?
Is it a wee bit loaded?
No, because if you ask us, the best Batman movie is Michael Keaton. If you ask somebody that's a little younger than us, the best Batman is Dark Knight. If you ask someone even way younger than us, the best Batman movie is going to be The Batman. It really depends on who's your Dracula, and mine happens to be Gary Oldman, so there it is.
What's funny is that you say this, and like in 92, I was 12 years old. There's no way I was watching this movie in theaters. But as I got older and I hit my teens and 20s, I gave it a spin on, I want to say it was DVD at the video library. And I agree with you. Gary Oldman is definitely my Dracula.
And listen, I may be misremembering seeing this in the theater, but I really wish, if I never have, I really wish that I had. And if it ever comes back to theater, I definitely want to see it, because there's some visual things going on in this movie that are outrageous and out of this world. The costume designs alone are like mind-blowing, and there's some in-camera effects that are just so weird and so wild, and this movie is just doing so many cool creative things visually that it almost makes up for the bad accent work.
This movie again came out in 92. 91 was kind of weird for, I don't want to say weird, but it was interesting for Keanu, because he does Point Break, and then the Bill and Ted sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, that hits. And then he goes on a little like statuette run where he's like trying to get one. He does Bram Stoker's Dracula, Much Ado About Nothing, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Freaked, and Little Buddha. And then he just comes right back with Speed, and he was just like, all right, I feel like this might be my wheelhouse. I might need to be here.
I don't know that he's really picked that as his wheelhouse. I think we as a society have decided that we like Keanu Reeves as kind of this everyman sort of character.
This everyman's action star.
Yeah, something like that.
That brings up an interesting question then. I'm sorry, I keep going back to my zeitgeist. Like, Bruce Willis was kind of in that same vein, where it's just like we didn't expect this from this guy. Could you kind of put him and Keanu in kind of the same category almost, when you talk about
always,
in the sense of like everyman action heroes? Would you put Keanu in there?
It always comes back to Bruce Willis.
Listen, I got to give the man flowers while I can. But yeah, would you slide Keanu into kind of that category as well, along with all the other categories?
I would put young Keanu in that category. Old Keanu's in a different.
And so you've seen Point Break, you've seen Bill and Ted, you've seen My Private Idaho. What does Keanu bring to the Jonathan Harker role that, like, looking back, you're just like, wow, did not expect that?
That's a loaded question, bro.
Okay.
Actually, the scenes in the castle are not bad. Any scene in the castle when he's not talking, they're fine.
Wow.
They're fine.
Okay, this goes back to the old adage where it's just like, there's this whole thing where there is an amount of dialogue that you give to Keanu Reeves, But if you go past that line, you're taking a risk. And like Speed is kind of the outlier.
Right. Speed and The Matrix.
So this is our first of the Oscar kickoff. We have a couple more things in the oven coming. We'll get you everybody a prize on that. But real quick before we go, because I know Teebs has a bit of he's got some planning, some things going on. Real quick. So we're like 4 or 5 episodes into Starfleet Academy. Quick thoughts. 30 seconds.
I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would.
I felt the same way. That is exactly my opinion. It's like, it's better than I thought it would be.
Better than I thought it would be is strong.
It's better than I thought it would be. I'll put it that way. It
wasn't, how do I put this? All right, there's no good way to put this, but like...
It's just power through it.
It's fine.
That is...
It's fine.
That is a Teebs classic description.
Fine.
Without insulting it. Have you watched Wonder Man at all? That's the last thing I'll leave you with.
That's interesting.
What do you think about Wonder Man?
Wonder Man's pretty good. I'm only 3 episodes into it, so I got to get into it a little bit.
I'm about halfway through it myself, and I do love the interactions between Ben Kingsley and Yeah. I'm very into that dichotomy there.
And before anybody says anything about me being on a break from superheroes, I'm watching Wonder Man for the culture. Okay?
For the culture, because it's Black History Month.
It's Black History Month.
We both powered through Ironheart last year, so you know what? Damn it, we got to do it for this too.
It's nice to watch something actually good.
It's nice to watch actually something good. Marvel, for Christ's sake. But then again, like, I'm going to be in the bag for Daredevil next month. Don't say anything. Just don't. You know I'm in the bag for Daredevil. You know I'm in the bag for Lanterns, if and whenever the hell that comes out. There are things on the horizon for me. Other things on the horizon for us will be here next couple of weeks. Of course, every week. We had to take a little breather because, again, there was like 10 inches of snow on the ground. So I would get home from work, put my skis away, and I'm just like, all right, I can't do it tonight. I'm sorry. Sledding down the art museum steps, fun as always. But follow us on socials. We're on Facebook, X, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, full episodes of the podcast video edition on YouTube, along with like all of our clips and cool stuff like that. Teebs update on the vampires, the Kickstarter issues going out, books going out.
Yeah, the books have been going out for a month now.
All right.
Books are out.
All right, let's round of applause for that. So a special shout out to everybody involved with those books. Pick it up if you're part of the Kickstarter already. We'd love to hear what you think of it on social. So if you have a copy, hit us up on the socials and let us know what you think. We're going to get out of here. We'll talk to everybody next week. Stay safe, everybody. Stay warm. And we'll talk to everybody next week.
I feel for my brother. Feel for your brother. Feel for my brother. And as I